Greetings, smart guzzers. We're going to make a nice little sweet treat, if you like an after dinner treat. And once again, this has come from Pies and Tacos. She seems to keep banging out loads and loads of things. I originally got in sort of hooked, if you like, on her macarons, but she does everything, you know, the sweet treats, as it were. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use Biscoff, and we're going to use a lot of Biscoff. We're going to use the Biscoff spread, or butter, whatever you want to call it. We're going to use Biscoff crumbs, and we're going to make some Biscoff truffles. So for this, you're going to use your food processor or blender. You can do it by hand in a bowl. I was going to do it by hand, but I bought Biscoff crumbs, and some are quite large, some are quite small, and I think the large ones are just too large when you see the size of truffles. So I'm making a lot of truffles because I need to give some away. So the quantities I'm using, I've upped. Okay, I'm using 675 grams here of Biscoff crumbs. Her recipe is quite a bit less than that, but anyway, we're going to put those in there, and then you got to go with that amount of crumbs. I've got 6 tablespoons of Biscoff spread, and then we've got some cream cheese to help bind it all together as well. I've got 255 grams of that. So I'm going to whack all this, excuse me, that didn't lay my finger. I'm going to whack all that into there. Now, because I'm making so much, I haven't been able to get all my crumbs in there at the moment. So I've put the cream cheese and the Biscoff spread in there with the bulk of the Biscoff crumbs. I'm just going to whiz that together a bit. Hopefully that reduced down a little bit, and we'll then whisk in or blend in all the others. Now, like I think I just said, if you do it in a bowl, if you've got a uniform crumb, it will be obviously not quite so smooth a texture. But if you want a smooth texture, you're going to blitz it in a microwave, in a blender. Right, in hindsight, it might have been a bit better if I'd have split that into 2 different amounts, because it got really difficult to get it to mix properly. It just kept blending the bottom. I scraped down about 3 times, but we have now got it all blended together. Okay, a bit smoother than I was originally intending, but that can't be out. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is just move this out of the way, and I've now got a baking tray which I've previously checked fits in my fridge. I've cleared a shelf because we're going to chill these for about 5 minutes, no more. She says the trouble is if you do them too cold, we're going to coat them in chocolate, and what will happen is once the chocolate obviously sets, it'll just more likely to crack. But we want to chill them a little bit, simply partly to help keep them firm, but also to help the chocolate set on it. So I'm just going to clear this, and then you're going to need to melt down some chocolate. Now she suggests gold chocolate because it is very reminiscent of the Biscoff flavour. So that's how to cut the blitz is in the microwave. I'm just going to give it a bit more, and then we'll make up our little truffles. So what I'm doing is taking about teaspoon size amount. Now I don't know whether this is because the amount of sort of blitzing I was giving it, but the Biscoff butter, if you like, has gone a little bit molten. So you can see they're looking quite greasy. And like I said, the idea being we're going to roll these into balls, and I've just pasted them on some baking paper. Now, if I've worked out her quantities right, and I'm not maybe balls too big, I should be making about 48 truffles. Okay, So, like I said, I wanted to make a lot. So I'm just going to carry on making my balls, and then when I've done that, that's going to go and chill for 5 minutes, and I'll check at that point that my chocolate is all ready to go. Right, they've had about 5 minutes. I've got a little dish of Biscoff crumbs here, and there's my chocolate. And so what we do is we take one of the truffles and we're just going to dunk it into that chocolate using a fork, and then lift it out and allow the excess just to drain off, and then we place it on the sheet. Now I might do these in batches because you then want to chill them for at least 30 minutes. Before you actually serve them. You can keep them in the fridge. Remember that we've got cream cheese in here, so you know they're not going to keep indefinitely, like say some shop bought truffles, those sort of things. She says you should be able to keep them for about 7 days in the fridge. However, she does say that you could freeze them for a couple of months if you wanted. Obviously you defrost them before you eat them. And equally, even though she's suggesting we keep them in the fridge, she's also saying you want to let them warm up before serving them. That one's been a bit obstinate. So I'm just going to go through and carry on coating these. I've noticed that I might be allowing these, whether it's because they need chilling a little bit longer, I don't know, but some of these are starting to lose their chocolate outer. Not that that's too much. You can always redunk them after you've chilled them a bit. So that's my first tray with the chocolate on. Now, she suggests you can, if you wish, decorate them. You can leave them like this, so they go in the fridge now, or you put them in the fridge, and then once they've set, drizzle some, say, milk chocolate over the top, and then add a little sprinkle of Biscoff crumbs. Now, I'm not going to add extra chocolate like that, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little pinch of Biscoff crumbs, and while the chocolate is still wet, as it were, I'm just going to add a little sprinkle on top. Okay, and then, like I say, these are now going to go in the fridge, and I can get coating the second batch. These are final Biscoff truffles. They definitely needed a bit longer in the fridge, and unfortunately, because I was trying to stop the chocolate coming off the outside, I didn't perhaps drain it enough, so some of them did develop like feet on the bottom, and when they're chilled, then when you try to sort of chisel it off a little bit, some of them broke. That's just a small sample. The rest are all stashed in the fridge, some in boxes to give away. But anyway, let's taste one. Now, unfortunately, I bought some little cupcake cases, but they're a bit too little, so they don't quite fit in there. There you can see there's one with a foot on it. So let's give it a taste. A little bit of biscoffy texture. I think some of that might be just crumbs on top. Taste of Biscoff. Even though it's got that cream cheese in it, that Biscoff paste, that Biscoff biscuits, that's Biscoff. Also, I'm not sure. Better try another one. Cheers.